Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our Division 1 Grand Finals here. Not Grand Finals, sorry, it's the starts of our finals. I've got to get... yes, I've got to get everything very, very sorted here. It is our playoff ladder start, so I'm joined tonight by the wonderful Coffee. Good evening, Coffee. How are you doing?
Good evening, good evening. Been a busy day with the family for Easter, of course. Happy Easter to everyone who is celebrating today. But for tonight, it is going to be Division 1 action, starting off the playoffs with our new format today.
Yeah, so I'm just showing the format now on stream as we have a ladder sort of playoffs. So it's best of fives all the way through, but because we had a much smaller Division 1, we want to make sure that everything was very valuable to try and get into a place. So the first seed of our main season actually got straight to the grand final. So Vinland Raiders are there waiting for the 28th of April, but the rest of the teams have to play through the ladder. So here we are with Freakz against SplyCySusLiHa here today, and they are going to be playing for a place to go into what is technically, I guess, a quarterfinal against Bobby Kotick Fan Club.
Yeah, it's a bit of a ladder for the teams that finished fourth and fifth, and of course Div1, not many teams in it, so every win mattered in the regular season for your placement in the ladder. If one of these teams that's going to win will be very impressive, of course, 4 games in a row. As we're now in playoffs, it is going to be best of fives, if I recall correctly, so
yes,
we'll be going through quite a few games today.
Yeah, well, everything matters, of course. It is knockout, and as you say, best of 5. Best of 5 today. And that, you know, we're kicking off with Braxis Holdout. We've had Volskaya Band, Garden Band, BOE Band, and Tomb Band. So a lot of relatively small maps sort of eliminated from the pool here. But our first one, starting off with, you know, a 2-lane map, arguably also a small one, is Braxis Holdout. Coffee, what do you think we could expect here from these two teams?
So I know that back in the old days, and sometimes you still see it now, it's the rotational style where you have DPS heroes anchoring in each of the lane, and then you have a roaming squad to go between lanes, get the camps, do some pushing, try and be ahead of the other team. Now, I've been casting a little bit of Div1, mostly of Freakz' team to be honest, and I don't think they ever played back, so I'm not quite sure what to expect from our teams here. You can also, of course, other things you can do are 2-3. You can have, instead of your standard 1 off lane and then a 4-man, you can have arranged to go along with them in the lane of less people and try and push with it, while having 3 people just trying to hold off against the other team's push. And then, of course, you can also play for heavy sustain styles. Just run at the bottom lane with 2 healers and a Vala or a Grey Mage Savannah, something like that, and try and out-sustain them in the 4v4 brawl ARAM effectively.
Yeah, what I really love about Braxis is that although once that early game gets done and that brawl, as you just said, can happen, as soon as those forts are down, the map suddenly feels very open, very exposed, and it's a long way from one keep to the other on the map. And you can really sort of start to get that rotation happening and maybe a little bit of ganking. That's what perhaps we could be watching out for a little bit later. Of course, there are some fun heroes that can be played here and get a bit more played. Genji has that little boss quirk on here. Is that even going to get let through the map, the first band's Coffee?
Definitely Genji, very high priority historically on the map. Excellent at rotating, 2 spells to go over walls, very short cooldown with the agile mobility, I think it's called, the jumping off the horse talent. Very impressive if you can do that, by the way. Also Midi summer style likes to be picked on this map. You often see Murden, you often see Karazin, you see very aggressive rolly styles quite often on Braxis, and I say it's quite an interesting map because earlier on it's a very small map. It's not that far between the walls of the teams, but once the forts are down, opens up enormously, and it can be difficult for teams that are relying on a backliners and to get around the map safely without being flanked or otherwise caught out.
Yes, yeah. Another favourite of mine, I must say, is Junkrat, I think, which, you know, it's a bit of an odd one, right? Because you've got a lot of control, but that early game power spike isn't quite there for Junkrat. how's your sort of rating for the Down Under Devil? I would almost describe them as on this map.
Yeah. Made remains only 2 degrees apart, me and Junkrat, of course, as well. It can be nice for controlling the entranceway to the bottom of the beacon, has nice wave clear as well. Can struggle if the teams just butt heads against each other until someone breaks. You've got quite good cooldowns on the Junkrat spells. We often see some teams going for, I mentioned before, you go for aggressive heroes. You also look for pick sort of things with Stitches, with Garrosh especially, is a common one on the map. Junkrat has excellent follow-up. Early on, the lanes are very small, so the concussion mine displacement into your forts can be a very strong approach as well.
Yeah, I mean, it is all about that control. As you say, Garrosh down there as well, really sort of does help around that. In terms of tank priorities, these two teams, they've shown a lot. Freakz, especially with the Muradin and the Johanna, really much more of their priority. Not sort of the star picks that you have on this map. Meanwhile, SplyCySusLiHa are more Diablo Tyrael kind of people. That to me says the aggression is much more on the side of SplyCySusLiHa. You get it?
I don't say that name all night.
It's going to roll off my tongue by the end, Coffee. I guarantee.
Well, if we go to 5 games, so it certainly will. But yeah, as you're saying, Freakz' team there have a very particular drafting style. If you haven't seen before, you're in for a treat. They will play 3, 4, even 5 melee heroes. They do not really care for the backline damage for the most part. Just want to be very fast, clearing the waves, pushing very high tempo playstyle. And on a map where the advantage of that is they clear the waves, you go and move onto the camps and you're faster than them. But if you're stuck in only 2 lanes, and there's up to 2 camps you can take and you can steal them away, but it's not the great. We will see if they change things up a little bit from their normal.
Yeah, notably, neither team has played on this map in the whole of their games in Division 1. Obviously, they've had less games. They only had 7 rounds in Division 1 to sort of prepare themselves for this ladder tournament. So, yeah, no one's been directly able to play Braxis Holdout. But I must say that if you are playing a heavy melee team on Braxis, I think you can feel really bad if you lose the objective. That's one of those big things that if you lose the objective, suddenly you're feeling a little bit wounded and a little bit tricky to clear what can be a colossal Zerglaive coming your way.
Yes, it is one of the disadvantages of the high melee first off. There's a lot of benefits. They're often quite good at scaling with very strong level 20 talents in the later fights, but when you play the high melees, you lack in siege damage and you lack in D-push. And if the enemy team were to get from one up on you, even once in the game, it could snowball out of control. Zerglaive, enormous on Braxis holdouts, can be difficult. If you're playing heroes such as 4-man Dahaka, this is a thing that they like to do a lot, the Freakz. Dahaka is not the sort of Zerglaive you want to have, so they need to ensure, if they are going to go for something like that they always stay on top of things, don't fall behind, keep up the pace of the game.
Yeah, just looking at sort of the statistics of Freakz to see what possible heroes there could be. Obviously, we described Valor earlier. They have played Hammer and Chromie in the past a little bit, and Sylvanas being one of the other ranged or dedicated ranged assassins, I should say, for Freakz. So yeah, we'll see what they actually pop out. So it looks like we're going to have a quick substitution here as Freakz having a little bit of trouble getting their full team ready for this best of 5. They did have 2 weeks to organise this match, I will say. So this is the last day they can play it after having waited 2 weeks.
Yeah, I don't want to speculate too much, but it feels like they've ran out of the clock and then they realise, hang on a second, we have to play now on Easter. It can be a bit difficult to have everyone available for that, so
yeah, well,
I suppose it's one of the things that happens.
Grateful for you today, Coffee, as you are calling in all the way from a different location from your main place on an old laptop, maybe, or just a laptop. I don't know. You did say you had to update Heroes of the Storm.
Yeah, it is just a laptop. I don't use it very much. I am about 7 hours by bus away from where I normally am, so. In some ways, I'm kind of glad I haven't fallen asleep by this point, but it's okay.
Well, it looks like our teams are getting ready. Let's get into this game number 1 draft.
So back to we talked about it quite a bit. We had a bit of a pre-game, but we're looking to see what, especially what SplyCySusLiHa are going to do. They are the ones to pick this map. As I said, the first time that either team has picked the map, so I'm hoping that, well, I assume they have a plan that have come here in mind. They're looking to, that's how that often seems a cheesy map. You can do all sorts of things. We'll see what they have in mind. Now, coming in for Freakz' team is Haka, who is, I believe, listed on their roster, but not one of the standard members that the team plays with.
Yeah, so they've had to bring in a couple of a new player. I think Hoplaka is actually a new player for the playoffs. They just added them just before we started the sort of playoff ladder, mainly because I think one of their other main players has sort of dropped out away from Heroes of the Storm, unfortunately. Maybe hoping to go on to greener pastures, who knows? But we shall
One of the things that often happens in Division 1, unfortunately, you get the people that have had enough, maybe they can't keep up the time needed to practice, maybe they're not enjoying as much as they once were, and so very often teams and individual players drop out in the season. It's not the greatest, but it's one of the things that happens. Anyway, going for the bans, we have Luso and Blaze from Freakz Savannah's first ban for Splyce's team.
Yes.
Which I think is awesome to see it, and looking at what this last one here could be a tank, could be something like Greymane as well, maybe.
Yeah. Well, Greymane is the other sort of range, but they're going for the Johanna, trying to limit that tank pool, perhaps, that Freakz has had over the past. Obviously, leaving Muradin available is one of their favourites, but it's going to be Dahaka for BRB Soaking, who's come in as a substitute and will most likely be playing in that off lane for Freakz. Although, as you've said, Coffee, we don't really know. They could do anything, but with BRB Soaking subbing, I'm imagining that's the off lane.
Yeah, it would make sense for BRB. He is an off-lane player, typically does play with the Haka, so we could see that one. Cloudy, sure, their main range damage dealer, plays a lot of the Haka as well. This is what I was looking for. What plan are Splyce's team going to come up with? And starting off with Oriel and Val, looking for playing through the bottom lane. They can also, I mentioned before, the 3-2. That's an option they can go for as well. Oriel, Vala, and then some backline tanks like Tyrael, ETC, down there, and then have some pushing 2-man on the other side of the map.
Yeah.
Freakz' team playing pretty much expectations. We see Muradin, Rhaegar, very high roaming, fast camps, ganking sort of style from them.
Yes, especially we could see the Muradin, the Rhaegar pop up to the off lane where Dahaka is, help out with a little bit of a gank, and then Dahaka can burrow down bot lane. Something that, you know, often is ignored with globals, but can be a great use of their abilities, is rotating to the global and then having the global rotate to go pick up the soak that the main 4-man has just left. We're having Garrosh banned and that Junkrat also banned, so the mobility really being taken away from Freakz, but Genji still very much open, and the Vala and Oriel composition needs some beef in front of them. Is it going to be that Tyrael to help with the shielding? As you said, Coffee, I imagine that's probably a priority here for SplyCySusLiHa.
Yeah, so SplyCySusLiHa, here we are. It's going to be double support. They play the loaded playstyle. This is why the Junker band's coming in. One of the better heroes at defending against the high push that are coming in here. Oriel and Morales, no built-in movement speed or dash or anything, so some of the more likely heroes to get knocked over by Junkrat Concussion Mine. The remaining option is Chromie is the one that stands out. We'll see if that comes through for them. And I'm even going to try and match the double support here. It's going to be difficult if they are going to. Instead, no, this is, I would assume, going to be Hopaka mostly playing in the top lane alongside BRB, and they're going to say, alright, you can have your fun, you can have your games in the bottom lane, but Vala is only one hero, and the Haka and Samurai are 4 heroes, so therefore we can push faster.
Yeah, we'll see how these rotations pan out. Of course, we've got some fans here for SplyCySusLiHa in the chat. Make sure that, you put your points where your mouth is. We've got predictions up and available above the chat as well. They're going to be open for another 5 minutes, so you can probably see a decent chunk of the practice hold-up game if you really want. But the real people, the real fans, will be putting in their points right now at the end of this draft. Mal'Ganis coming in right at the end here, potentially quite good against Samuro, in my opinion, maybe? Question mark, Coffee?
Yeah, so we see the typical Freakz thing here. They've got 5 melee heroes, don't count Gren as a range, he really isn't. Mal'Ganis can get the multi-man stance, can get the sleep on top of a lot of people. Rhaegar's sent to slow, but there's not really much that can interrupt him otherwise. I do like this pick from SplyCySusLiHa. They are saying our laning phase is strong enough. We are just going to secure something for later on, so even if you try and play some shenanigans, flanking around and get on top of our Valor, we have the necessary peel against the melees.
Right, let's see as we get into game number 1 here on Division 1 playoff knockout match. Round number 1, I'm not quite sure what to call it, but here we have Freakz in the blue. We've got Cloud Destroy on the grey main, out of order on that Rhaegar. Freakz on Muradin, Hoplika on the Dahaka, and BRB Soaking on Samuro.
Systems online.
And the red team is SplyCySusLiHa. It's going to be Suspect playing Oriole, Rubon playing Valor, Link playing Morales, Sicilian playing the Hogger, and JDJ Hard, HJ Hard rather, is the Mal'Ganis. Already we're seeing the lane swap coming in from both teams actually, and they're going to meet in the middle of the top lane here. Freakz going to throw Stormbolt, nothing connecting. Now we see the rotation, so who's going to have control over where the teams are going to push? Who's going to force the other team to respond to them? My first thought is it's probably going to be Freak's team with control over this. Rhaegar Greymane pushed past it if uncontested, so we'll see how good the D push is from Hogger and Mal'Ganis.
Yeah, so as we do see, Mal'Ganis trying to just zone out a little bit while Valor and Medic finally find themselves a little bit of space against the hacker up here in the top. But there's still this brawl happening, and yeah, everyone's sort of posturing their rotations, but where will it all calm down? That is the main question, and I'm not sure this is going to be a calm match whatsoever, Coffee.
Oh, this is going to be a hell of a handbasket in a moment, as we're seeing now rotation up top side from Freakz to try and slow down the Valor pressure. Parker going to get interrupted down the drag. Looks like he'll be okay though. HJ has found them on the camp here. Cloud Destroyer and Freakz going to fight for it. Going to secure it. Sleep will be used, but not enough to stop them. Now we were seeing Hogger and Mal'Ganis. They are not bad at getting the D push when there's just minions can clear those out reasonably quickly. But the Hellbats will be another story altogether. And we don't really have anyone to send to assist. Now, Suspect's moving down. Freakz spots this. Oriole not exactly a great way through either. Their defense against the Hellbats could be a bit of a problem. Second camp now done by Freakz teams. They're giving up control of the points, though, for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Freakz here is trying to interrupt this top, but they are now 3 versus 1. Admittedly, that's 2 supports, but a Valor is going to be pumping up enough damage to scare them off. And as the blue team take out the bot objective for the time being, they are looking to push this bot lane and open it up. Meanwhile, Hard is trying to help and de-push a little bit, but Silesium struggling to get the damage right back in there where it matters. So Hard has to back out of there with a lot of HP lost. And the hacker right back in the top lane is taking that beacon away from the red team. I think blue team are trying to get the kill here, Coffee.
Looking for Mal'Ganis taken the road and have to recall. Now, how fast do they want to play this? Hogger's doing the camp here. Hard's actually going to cancel the recall to defend the Freakz is posturing around, being a bit annoying here. In the meantime, Hopaka and Cloudy have broken down the gate, so the push has begun for Freakz's team. Here's the spin from Sicily, not really finding much. It's going to be 4v4 here at the moment. Here comes the Hard Crash, and Valor not there, so 45 in favor of Freakz's team. Hard going for the sleep invisible to Hakubo. It's now Valor coming in. It's all a fight over the Bruiser camp.
Yeah, and now Valor's here. Oriole's going to have plenty of energy, especially with Medic, to help get them through those risky opportunities. Red team able to bully those pesky blues off the Bruiser. So taking a little bit of control now. We're going to get another 1% maybe. No, not even that. The beacon rotation is just so good here in Division 1. I really love that gameplay that we do see from this high level. You know, Brax's holdout often in Storm League can be one-sided. One team just takes those beacons. But with the beautiful rotations that we see here in Division 1, we're seeing very little progress with the objective so far.
Now we're seeing a bit of a trade happening. Cloudy and friends playing up in the top lane, not thinking that it's worthwhile to try and defend against the camp. They'll only take damage. Better off trying to trade on the other side. I do like the decision. Saves you from wasting time just walking across the map while the other team is pushing. Now Cloudy taking a lot of damage here, going to barely get out with the disengage. Knocked up. Very interesting combo here. The Hogger, Loot Horde, and Oriole stun. Freakz trying to hold the point for a bit, but he's going to need to leave in a moment. Might not be able to. Dual toss just in time.
Yeah, no more CC to interrupt that after a beautiful chain. Yeah, the sleeps to help set Hogger and Oriole up to find that angle, to put them against the wall. Really good job here by SplyCySusLiHa as we see BRB soaking in a little bit of a danger, and first blood goes over to the red team after they just opened up some good structure damage here in the bot lane.
Yep, walled down by Ruben already. Kill on Samo slows things down greatly for Freakz' team. Out of order going to get the top point, so it's not a disaster yet. We are going to back off though. Freakz being a bit of a pest, okay, keeping the point, stopping the team from pushing with their camp. Now, the puck is here, but Ruben just kind of stacking up against the Murden uncontested in the meantime.
Yeah, as we see Hard comes in to help with a little bit of CC. Out comes the Bat Claws and then the Sleep. Out of order. Will they go down? We see them put down the slow. Able to get away for a little bit, but SplyCySusLiHa is slowly catching up. Fortunately, Freakz here with a rotation, and the red team decide it's not worth the chase this time. So, the double support and the Valor are here in the bot lane trying to fight their way through and try and get a little bit of an objective, but still we are stuck on 0 and 8% right now, even after a kill for the red team.
Yeah, Freakz team plays Smoke and Mirrors. Now they're looking for another fight over the camp, but the AoE is so good from SplyCySusLiHa. Freakz controlling the point. Now here's the rotation from BRB to make it outnumbered, but Freakz taking low ground to leave. The healing from Oriole, so strong on the point here. Going to be held at camp taken by SplyCySusLiHa, and the Smoke and Mirrors has been working so far for Team Freakz, but they've only been able to keep things even, and they're paying the price for it, and that is the stacking on the quests. Suspect nearly done with the Detainment Strike. Rubron up to about almost 150, so in the late game the Val's going to be a problem. They do have the tools, but we need to see it happen, as Beacon's currently being taken up to 50% by SplyCySusLiHa, and it might even be more.
Yeah, but Freakz is here, looking on the wing, trying to see if they can help BRB soaking, but it's Hard, actually, who's the one in danger. Stormbolt narrowly missing, but Hard still in a little bit of trouble. But thankfully, Mal'Ganis and Hogger are phenomenal against heavy melee teams. They love just spinning around, shoving their claws in people's faces, and they will survive for a long time, especially with the hero healing from Oriole, as we see the Hope coming out, and there we see a lot of peel coming out from Hard. It's just so difficult for the blue team to get any meaningful damage when they're constantly being stunned and put to sleep by this Mal'Ganis.
Yeah, but after Mal'Ganis doing a lot for them, as now drag onto the Hogger, going to get out though with the Spencer okay. Meanwhile, it's a bit of a disaster for Team Freakz in the bottom. Actually, Ruprom has a full Zerg wave here, pushing on Rakip, has his heal bot link to survive as well. Now, for Parker going to bush stalk in, but fighting in the entire Zerg wave would be very ambitious to say the least, so top 4 will survive, and it's going to be the bottom key pool lost by Freakz' team. They're down about half level at the moment, so it's going to be difficult for them moving into the mid stages of the game, I think.
Yeah, so level 10 around the corner here, and we're going to get that Rain of Vengeance, which is going to help so much against this melee team still. We have, of course, Stim Drone, Carrion Swarm. It is going to be the Crystal Aegis, thankfully. But Hog has got a decision to make. Do they want the Loot Horde to really get some additional mobility around this map? Or are they just going to go for the Shockwave? And there it is. So Shockwave it is. Make sure they get that CC chain. Keep going. And maybe they'll get a kill against Freakz when they're just posturing so aggressively as they have done and still do right now. Waiting for level 10. I mean, are we even going to see Haymaker? And yes, we are. We're seeing it already, trying to get position onto Link. Can they find the stun? They haven't pulled the trigger just yet. Out comes the grenade. There comes the leap. But Aegis stops it. Out comes Bloodlust as well. Link's silence over all of that as Haymaker unable to be used correctly. But we are seeing the damage come out. Valor taken down, the main DPS. But still, Muradin falling lower and lower. Out comes Steam Drone Oriole. Muradin falls. 1 kill to 1 kill. Can the double support make it through this? And they do for now. But they're looking to get another kill onto Cloud Destroy. The damage just coming out from Hogger. It is inevitable. The blue team falling lower and lower as Reds have just endless healing in this team fight, Coffee.
Not done yet though. SusLiHa under the fort. Haka does he have a drag available? The answer appears to be no. Valor taken out and on the way back. I'm not sure what happened to the stim drone. Link ended up using it on the Uri. I don't know if maybe there was an interrupt on the initial cast. And we see one of the ways to deal with the double support strategy coming out from Freakz' team. If you see this in your own lane, games ignoring this hang on, we might have a play here.
As we do see a lot of the damage being put onto this bottom fort as BRB Soaking has tried to put a lot of effort here, but they've been targeted by the fort a bit too much. They don't have a clone left over. Dahaka coming in for a little bit of support, as is Cloud Destroy, and it's a beautiful lick. That is going to be a kill against Hogger. Phenomenal rotation by Freakz.
I don't even know how it happened. BRB, he swapped on the clones for image transmission, but still had the fort aggro. SysTim thought hang on, I thought this guy Alice made a mistake, I'm going to punish him, but Papaka comes in to save the day. We are going to trade it for the top fort though. Stim on Rublon, just doing damage so quickly to the fort. Now we're trying to catch him on the escape here. Freakz, Haymaker, Chris Eggers comes out now. One gun out. Bye bye Valor, you have no friends. Down goes Rublon, Jenny hard, trying to get out. Rick from Papaka will connect. Where's the next stun? Murden not having it just yet. As here's the healing, they might turn it around just yet. The vampire doing his work. The spin from SysTim, not quite enough, but Face's team gonna have to withdraw from this one.
Yeah, they tried so hard, Coffee. They tried desperately to get this Mal'Ganis, and they might get it this time. The supports are nowhere to be seen, and they do get that takedown. We are seeing how much this melee swarm has to... They are literally a swarm. They surround their targets. They make sure that they isolate them away from the supports and put in all the damage. The focus is completely there, and that is what we love to see in coordinated play. These focused damage dealer compositions where everybody is putting their damage on that one target, making sure they can try and take them down. As we see Freakz going for the zoning here, BRB Soaking coming in as well. The boss taken by Freakz, and this may be the chance for the comeback as a beacon progress ticks away for the blue team. They will have a boss pushing down top lane and a Zerg pushing down bot.
Nice throw there from Hapaka, now even turning it around. And I think maybe SplyCySusLiHa, they've got a bit lost in the source. Trying to fight too much against the melees there was hard. Going out after them, hitting many heroes with the stuns, but you're 1v4 the Mal'Ganis in the end. So that's not going to work out fit. Now we've got the Zerg in the bottom lane with the Hellbats, and they've got the boss in the top lane. Freakz they have turned the game around actually. Now here comes Hapaka, drag, not going to connect, but hard in the middle, everyone trying to stop from time being. Isolation used on Mal'Ganis. Gotta be kept alive though for the time being with Aegis. BRB need to get out of there. Here's the syndrome on Rublon. Just get out of my face, guys, as the real problem, however, is in the bottom lane with the Zerg.
Yeah, Zerg and a Camp Coffee. These structures are having their armor reduced by the Hellbats, just burning them down, clearing the waves as well. And that is why this keep is almost guaranteed to be gone. I wanted to talk a little bit about talents, but it's almost like there's no time to, as right now the red team had to desperately defend this keep. But still, so much of this Zerg wave left over. Yeah, I wanted to talk. Hogger, of course, has now got level 13, and we are going to see that pummel. So slowing and reducing spell power. That might help a little bit in keeping people alive, but there's barely any spell power in reality on the side of the blue team.
Oh, I'm not sure. Maybe it's just here for the slows and the healing reduction, but there's no ancestral healing from out of order either. And I've talked before about Freakz' team. They do have a lack of deep push, but the same thing applies to SplyCySusLiHa. They're playing double support. They don't have that much either, and so it ended up being the keeper being lost. Freakz' team now in the advantage. They're scaling up as well. I was trying to say this before, but it's been too much action. One way to beat double support, they like slow, controlled fights. Just go full Zogzag mode, get in their faces, Don't let them click on the right hero with their spells. Just go crazy and get on top of them. Worked so far for Freakz once they started getting fights with their heroes, fights with the 5v5 as well.
Yeah,
Now
Link in a little bit of
first one to
trouble.
16.
Here, out comes the Haymaker. Link able to pop their armor, but also out comes the Crystal Aegis. Keeps them alive a little bit longer, but Hogger is going to be the one in danger and gets taken down. Go for the throat use, and now they're looking for the Nux target. Link is that target, but they're keeping themselves healed up. So much healing from that level 4 talent, and Suspect able to do the work there too. As we see Cloud Destroy now gets taken down. The Stim drone Valor comes out, and this is where the damage is dealt. Hogger is not needed when Valor is alive and in these team fights, as Freakz is getting chased down. They don't have a Dwarf Toss left, but they do have a hammer peeling for themselves. 1-for-1 here for the team fight. But all the while through that, BRB Soaking was threatening Core.
Yeah, it's another fight going the way of Freakz. I have to say, they're getting more push as well there now with level 16. They went over the wall, did BRB Soaking and Cloudy to try and kill off Link. Now, I need to check the replay to be sure, but I think we saw the value of the level 7 talent from her outside the meta drone, putting Safeguard on herself, so while healing up Suspect was getting a lot of the Q healing, the healing beam onto Link himself, so able to stay alive, taking some way longer to kill than I think Freakz' team was expecting. As now going to the next objective phase, Parker has the global advantage, going to stay top lane, level 16 for both teams. But the map so far open, this is where I said the problem can come in here with double support. Now Cloudy trying to catch a Rubicon, just going to get a solo kill here. It's the Grey Mage, no go for the throat needed. Suspect kind of just sitting there with Link.
Yeah, this is the bait of the level 16 talent. Suspect really wanted a stack of Reservoir of Hope, so didn't want to heal just yet. But unfortunately, that meant that they fell and went to their death. But now we see they don't need Valor. They just get the kills anyway, as we now see Stim Drone on Hogger coming out, and they look to chase somebody down. They're trying to get onto Out of Order. Out of Order was mounted for the time being, but healed themselves with Chain Heal. Still slept for now. The support's backing away. They don't want to be caught out by these frontline, as we see Lynx use their grenade. That's going to reduce the damage of 30% by anyone hit by that, thanks to the level 13 talent. The red team, they collect themselves, but after all of that, the blue team have so much presence on this map that we do see the beacon progress is ticking away for them. Blind as a bat won't save hard for too much longer, and it's definitely not getting this beacon for the red team. It's going to be another 100% Zerg wave here for the blues, Coffee.
Yeah, we did see a nice little CC chain here from Hard and SplyCySusLiHa, but we don't have the damage to follow up on it. Rubon needs to stack up the hatred and then go to work with the auto attacks. Now we're trying to stop the recall here on Hard, who is low on mana as well. This might be important. Hopaka on the flank, going to go on top of them all at the moment. Just strolling for the moment because in top lane, BRB is having so much fun. But for the fight itself, Freakz, dying time, they're just keeping them here at the moment. They can't retreat. Now Link in so much trouble. Here's the Bloodlust going on top of them all. You can have your fun with your healers, but now it's time for the brawling to come into play. Keep is gone, Zergwave full. SplyCySusLiHa giving up on the core defense to try and win the fight, but I think they're still going to lose both.
Yeah, it seems like the core is now under pressure. The shield's gone, and look at this health bar melt. It's going to be GG well played, and game number 1 will go over to Freakz.
Very nicely done by them, just trying to get through the early game. I suppose in the end was their game plan, just waiting for the talents to come in. The big one I think I overlooked when looking at the team comps was Freakz's with the Haymaker. You have your low mobility backline healers. I mean, if you send the Valor away, it's like they're playing 0 supports instead of 2. And we saw this happen in the top lane. We saw when they go on top of them, Bloodlust, Samurai, Dahaka, and Greymane Murder, they all jump on top of you. What are you meant to do as the backliner? We saw the play. It's actually going to be harder, nearly keeping up with 16 for the most damage. Rubon maybe debate this game in far as who the carry of SplyCySusLiHa is, but in the end, Freakz' team able to win game number 1.
Yeah, I mean, I must say, we looked very confident for SplyCySusLiHa early on, but it was just the presence that happened, Freakz were almost able to play completely in the red team side due to the fact that their composition was so frontline heavy. They had, were able to bully their way no matter where they wanted to go. Whereas SplyCySusLiHa, obviously they had those two squishy supports that felt very vulnerable as soon as they stepped anywhere forward, just because a potential flank from Samuro and a hacker could mean death for one or both of them. So Freakz take game number 1, of course, and well, what are we looking at, Coffee, right now for our second map? We are, well, we're probably gonna have to wait a little bit, but we've got plenty of options available. Infernal, Towns of Doom, Cursed Hollow, Dragonshire, Alterac, and Sky Temple, all available here, Coffee.
And I do have to wonder, because remember, this was SplyCySusLiHa's map pick. They wanted to go to Braxis, and I think losing on your own map pick kind of stings, because you have all the time in the world to pick this. And think about how you want to deal with this weird team, the Freakz, and then they end up winning map number 1. So I'm not sure where they want to go from here. Do they have anything else prepared, or do they simply want to go for the first pick? Just not heard anything from them at the moment.
Yeah, so, after that, of course, you're thinking, what map is going to be good, for us to have ranged assassins, basically. You are so expecting these heavy melee compositions. So I think Sky Temple, out of the question. It's not usually picked anyway, but Sky Temple, and once again, another great map for rotating around, has a heavy front line in the enemy base on those sort of objectives as well, and just really having a good bully and a brawl. The one map sort of that strikes me as a possibility, of course, here is Dragonshire, where there's just very similar to Braxis Holdout, but you might be able to have a little bit of safety as being a ranged assassin. There's a lot of terrain in the way to help protect you from those deep flanks. And often, if you keep your forts up, which often don't go down until that objective comes up, or unless there's sort of significant siege damage done, you're going to be protected as a ranged backliner, healer or damage dealer. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Dragonshire here.
Well, we do have the decision that SplyCySusLiHa want the first pick. So the ball's entirely in Freakz' team now. They have so many fun maps available. Don't need to be worried about a silly little battle or Sky or Garden. They can do a similar style on many other maps. You mentioned Sky Temple. It's a brilliant wide map for playing the melees. Alterac Pass, also an option, can be difficult to get value from objective on that one. I think Cursed Hollow is another one we've seen Freakz' team play during the regular season.
Yeah, and it looks like they are going to be picking Cursed Hollow here, as I've been invited to a game, and as of you, without them picking it in the actual match lounge. Division 1 notoriously trolls of not actually following the proper process here.
They just want to play the game. They're not interested in your silly rules and all that sort of stuff.
No, definitely not. That's what Division 2 love. Division 2 are the people who love rules and who love reading the rules. Division 1 are the people who just come to play the game and beat other people at playing the game. So yeah, Cursed Hollow, our pick here. Now, this wasn't sort of on my radar between these two teams. I think this is very much could go either way, in my opinion. Once again, sheltered for ranged assassins. There's plenty of space for them to feel protected, but there is some great flanking opportunities as well, should the red team step up. I mean, yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of globals. Freakz could well be in for a chance here to pick the hackers, the Samuros. Should we have BRB soaking? No, it looks like we have unsubbed them. So yeah, what are your thoughts here, Coffee?
Yeah, so the hacker once again going to be turbo priority for them. The key hero, I think, for the Freakz playstyle. The old teams I've seen in scrims, they don't know how to deal with it. Is Johanna the problem? Is the hacker the problem? In my opinion, it's Rhaegar that brings it all together with the Bloodlust. Gives all the melees the ability to reach your backliners with the mobility, get on top of them. Also, nice hero for keeping up with the clear on the camps as well, bring some value, not just going to sit there like a silly little Brightwing or something. I think Brightwing, I mean, you might look at this and say, melees playing the map, we want global like Brightwing. That hero just can't kill even a minion to save at Cypher. Useless for what they want to do, I think. As we will see what the response is going to be from SplyCySusLiHa, as they are, I think in terms of the momentum of the series, they're now on the back foot.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of another healer that could even fit that spot that Rhaegar almost does. And I think the weirdest one that I can think of, well, obviously Karazim sort of can do that sort of same aggressive play style. The other one that sort of can support people who are sort of massing around someone is Alexstrasza, who can go into the air and try and rain down fire. But I don't think we're going to see Alexstrasza. No way, Jose, not on this map. So it's kind of hard to identify really what Out of Order could go to should they want to still play this same style. And it has been Karazim in the past, and they've otherwise played Brightwing, Uther and Anna as a potential picks, but I don't think you want to be playing Uther on Cursed Hollow. That's just going to be, you're going to feel very slow going around the map as an Uther.
No, you definitely want to be the Rhaegar possible. We'll see what happens to that hero in the ban pack. Karazim's often noted as an aggressive one because he's high damage. You've got to pick off with a 7-side strike. It's not bad, but you don't have much mobility for yourself on your own. You need allies with you to dash around to. Rhaegar can just go into the wall form anytime. 4 legs are faster than 2.
Yeah, you're not wrong. 4 legs are faster than 2. You know what? There's a famous book, I think, that said 4 legs good, 2 legs bad. And I'm sure many people in the chat will know that reference. And I hope they would, because it's you know, a classic to study at school, but maybe only in the UK. Who knows?
Well, I said on some world I got that one as well. As we are just waiting for one more player to get into the lobby, that's why I haven't quite started just yet. So hopefully we will be there soon.
I mean, Coffee, you said that Div1 players just want to play the game, but the way the rate they get into lobbies, I must say, it doesn't look like that.
Well, they want to play the game, but who they play with is another question. It's also quite notorious, I believe, Division 1 for playing with lots and lots of subs, even in the playoffs. I remember back when we used to cast in about 2020 or so, it was often in the finals we'd be seeing both teams subbing people in because they couldn't actually get their main squad on.
No, it is, honestly, it's a miracle that the team over who do like the Banshee Cup and everything, it's a miracle how well they get people organised and into lobbies. And
I will probably just beat them up in real life if they try and mess them about, as we are now ready to go by the looks of things.
Yeah, so let's see, as we are looking at this game number 2 going to be happening on Cursed Hollow. Will Freakz find the damage they want here? Will they get that Rhaegar? Or will SplyCySusLiHa be able to take them down? Let's see. As we get into the draft. They bait me every time, Coffee. I think, are they waiting for me? Or are they not? And then I go to type and then it goes through.
Let's do the rest of you a little bit. As we are now, of course, on the ban pick. Falstad, another hero I'll be looking at, but I think Freakz' teams, if they could get the same comp again, they would be over the moon. Rhaegar, Greymane, Murden, Samuro, the Haka, brilliant. Cursed Hollow, you can do the same thing, and you have a load of fun doing it, but I do not think we will see double support from SplyCySusLiHa.
No, it just feels like you're going to be a little bit weak on the macro here if you try and go for that double support. So with that, we are seeing Falstad, Sylvanas both banned out. Dahaka's still up and available, and for anybody, Blaze is going to be the ban here for Freakz. So first pick for SplyCySusLiHa. And what are they going to go for? And it is Dahaka. Not surprised with the Falstad ban, if I'm honest.
Falstad ban for Haka pick. You have to assume, yeah, Rhaegar instantly taken by Out of Order. Blaze ban, in case people wondering, Blaze is really stupid at dealing with heavy melee styles. The charge, the AoE of the sun, once it connects to someone, is stupidly big. So can be very annoying to deal with. And here it is, Rhaegar Greymane, same mold tried and tested by them. Just hit the camps really fast.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be the case, right? They're going to rotate at the right opportunities, get those camps done. Rhaegar and Greymane are the two heroes that can really help you reliably get what you want out of the macro. And when there's Dahaka on the other team, you need to be hot because you want to be keeping Dahaka away from those fights. So having those Siege Giants to occupy them, to have those Bruisers to be able to push into the middle a little bit. But I love this Cassia pick here by SplyCySusLiHa. SplyCySusLiHa. Cassia, AoE blind, AoE damage. What's not to love against the compositions that Freakz have been playing?
Well, they can pick stuns is the problem, and then your Cassia is just a low health, low range hero. And yeah, you've got Link here now playing Anduin to assist her, but Anduin's also quite scary hero. I do like the Smeltfire ban from Freakz. If you want to play against it, for whoever plays against the next, maybe I shouldn't give so much free advice, but you can play Uther on a Malthael, and it is very strong against the scaling melee teamfighting style that Freakz team play. Now, Murden going to be targeted here as the third ban of SplyCySusLiHa.
Yeah, so we've typically seen them flex into a Johanna at this opportunity as sort of their next comfortable tank. And there it is. And with the Smiro as well to boot, that's going to be a little bit of extra global pressure to help take off Dahaka's push, but also just surrounding people with bodies and Bloodlust on the clones as well. It's just so much damage coming out, and those critical hits are going to help get the hurt in against whoever the target might be for Freakz.
Murden's gone, Dahaka's picked up by HDJ Hard. We see now Genji and Diablo from Rubom. Freakz team, they do enjoy playing Imperius as another melee when they can't get their hands on Dahaka, so that's a potential last pick for them here now. There's not, again, we've not got much CC. There's not a lot that can interrupt the Zugza get on top of you that Freakz team wants. We're just seeing SplyCySusLiHa, they're trying to beat it, and it's quite difficult to beat everyone jumping on top of you, even if you have AoE. Here's Imperius picked up by Dobby, subbing in after missing game number 1.
So I think the main hopes here for SplyCySusLiHa are having that Fire Stomp to try and slow later on once you've picked up those talents, but early game that's not going to be doing enough at all. Obviously the other options are Genji trying to deflect the damage, Cassia blinding it, but as you say, CC will stop all of that. Johanna and Imperius are going to have to be hot on hitting those heroes hard. I mean, which way are we thinking here, Coffee? The predictions are open for another 6 minutes. Which way would you be putting your points here, Coffee?
I mean, we do see a different approach for some. It's not going to be double support sustained foot. We're seeing instead try and kill them when they jump on top of you with Cassia, Diablo, and Genji. Link, though, is quite vulnerable. Cassia can be stunned up and killed, and I don't think SplyCySusLiHa found the answer just yet, as we're loading now into game number 2. On the blue team, currently leading 1-0 in the series is Freakz. Man himself playing Johanna, Paldestroy playing Greymane, Altiborder playing Rhaegar. Hopaka will be on Samuro this time, as Dobby is Imperius.
Yep, and on the side of SplyCySusLiHa, trying to get their win into this game, it is Silesium on the Cassia, Rubrom on Dahaka, HDJ Hard on Diablo, Link on Anduin, and Genji is played by Suspect. Gosh, I mean, they're not even French names, but I'm struggling today, Coffee, for some reason. But we see the rotation down to the bot lane.
Yeah, so a little bit of trivia, you can probably piece it together, but SplyCySusLiHa is just a combination of the 5 members' names, which I think is pretty cute, to be honest. I'm a big fan of it. As we are starting on the bottom lane here, Totem is the tank. Now, Hard is here, but Conviction, really nicely timed there by Freakz, going to prevent any sort of Diablo shenanigans, as they've already gotten about 2/3 of the bottom tower here.
Yeah, maybe SplyCySusLiHa took lessons from Bichopa Majuju, a previous Div 2 team from many seasons ago, who equally did the same thing with their names. But we see a little bit of an engage here from HJ Hard. Nice route follow-up from Link, and it could be a potential kill here, but Dobby finds the wall and finds the spear across it. Out of Order was in the wings, just in case they needed something a little extra. But good work here from both teams, being able to dodge the kill, but also trying to find the aggression, trying to find their way into the game as Red Team once again collapse onto the Bruiser camp that we all knew Rhaegar and Greymane would be doing.
Yeah, so Crowley's going to get the purge coming out to the right now. Look for Dobby, not going to find anything with the spear, but Crowley's in a lot of trouble. Here's the Phantom System, going to get the first one here, and it looks like the fight's going to go where SplyCySusLiHa. And standing on the point now, move on, JJ Hard. Freakz trying to attack it up, but there's no damage. Greymane's down. If it's early game appearance, you're not going to win the fight. Now Freakz going to have to leave. Drag there is good from SusLiHa. There's going to be 2 kills over to SplyCySusLiHa.
Yes, yeah, an incredible invade here for them, and now it's back to the square one here as everyone tries to take up their original positions. Dahaka should be heading bot as the objective is going to be in the top lane, as Genji right now is putting the harassment onto Dobby. But yeah, we had Cassia come in, put a phenomenal blind in, and I think, you know, that worry of the CC against Cassia. Oh, Suspect able to dodge out. It almost looked like the spear connected onto Suspect there. Almost so close, but they did dodge this time. Yes, the CC I was talking about. Johanna, of course, not quite as consistent with their CC. They have to wait for level 10 to get that nice blessed shield that will help endlessly with engaging. But before then, Cassie's feeling a little more free to roam around as Link comes in here at the top. Hard goes for a bit of an engage against Cloud Destroy, but out comes Suspect, trying to put on the damage on top of everything there. But still, so much damage done already. A tower taken. And the blue team trying to whittle down the structures until they get to the core, it seems, in this game number 2.
And they're just slowly doing things because of the draft. Cassia can't do the Giants as quickly as Salmon and Greymane, so it's going to be a tower taken on the top side here. One of the benefits of Johanna is that this hero is able to hold the offlane as well. Haka can play with the team, so they don't need to rotate the heroes into a precise formation. As now here comes to play on Ruberon. Has the essence still, so looks like it's going to be okay. Actually going for drag here on Outer More there. Rhaegar taking damage, but will survive. Freakz stalling on the objective for a bit, but no teammates inside, so it seems that SplyCySusLiHa are going to get this on. Now Freakz taking a lot of damage here. It turns out that you can't take an infinite number of shurikens.
No, and so as the objective has been taken by Anduin, the rest of the blue team here do try and find something. But Hard and Rubrom are desperately trying to find what they want here. But, you know, Rubrom is happy. Oh, no, sorry. Hard is happy here. You know, there's clones, there's 2 extra heroes, fire stomping away, gathering up the souls that they so desperately want, and then going for the engage when they find something. But I don't think this is the engage they want. Rubrom there, opening the door that Dobby was trying to close onto Hard. But Hard is falling lower, gets the reset with that fire stomp. But is that going to keep them alive? Oh, it might do, as Hard, with less than 100 HP, finds the angle on Samuro. Greymane going down as well. A nice set of a double kill here for SplyCySusLiHa.
Yeah, so it's after the Dobby being dragged under the tower. Haven't seen the spear connection rate we need yet from the Imperius, so we'll hope to see the spears connecting as the game goes on. But then dragged under the tower, taking a lot of damage, able to get out mostly, but then Hard looks like a squishy little Diablo. I'm nearly dead, come and kill me. But you mentioned earlier on the fire stomps are going to be big for Hard in this game, and you saw the healing, able to barely stay alive, had the shadow charge against the wall to take out Hopaka, so able to do that just fine. And also defense is spawned over tribute, so I don't think we'll see Freakz' team play for this one too hard, but anything's possible. Nope, it's just going to be Linker grabbing that one. And they are posturing around the 5-minute boss here.
Yeah, so they're looking to go for it. Of course, they have the auto attack damage to be able to do something like that. Hard here, healing themselves up so effortlessly with the fire stomp against the Samuro. Yeah, they're going for the boss. Meanwhile, the red team going for their bruiser camp. Is this macro decision going to hurt the red team much at all, Coffee?
I mean, it's going to be a bit interesting because Rubon's getting towers here, dropping waves as Freakz, but they do get the boss. And so down level 10, I'm not sure how much they're going to be able to push with it. Now we're seeing the move down, but again, it's Genji and Cassia. They're not the greatest at dealing with a PvE. Level 10s will help, I suppose, but I think Freakz' team is happy with this. Trading forts is good for a team that wants to play the open map. It's now Dahaka's going to come in. Proudly, no disengage available, but interrupted in the end by Dobby there was the... But lightning breath used, but not too much effect, to be honest. As they really want to get the curse, I think, before level 10 comes in, but this defense is born this time for Freakz. Freakz is going to be hard for SplyCySusLiHa, but so important for him to try and go from this one. Blink's getting the cap. Freakz being distracted by hard, barely gets the blind off, and now level 10s are hit. Dobby making rotation down, but Link is able to finish off the channel in time.
Yeah, so red team have the curse against the blue team now, and they'll be looking to try and get that soak as much as possible. We see Diablo rotate bot to pick it up there. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, we do have the 4-man push, but there's a bruiser camp here helping the defense, and that's an extra layer of minions who don't get cursed here for the blue team. Meanwhile, Suspect trying to find the dive in. Not quite successful this time. It seems like the red team just don't quite have the angle they want in this curse scenario. You know, they're not finding the engages, they're not finding the push. Can they get the soak to be able to get a lead in XP? It doesn't seem like it. As Hard comes in, looks for something. The rest of the red team are a little bit behind, but it's going to be a good flip onto Cloud Destroy. Meanwhile, out comes the light bomb with the Genji, able to land it onto Cloud Destroy, but Blessed Shield, nice peel here for now. Bloodlust comes out as well, peeling away. But if anything, that's a good thing for the red team here. They're able to use the offensive tools of the blue team and then withdraw from the team fight.
Well, withdrawing is okay, as now Hapaka's going in for Blaze Storm, but in the end, this has been the first curse, and minimal damage taken by Freakz. Defending middle with 3 people. We saw while the tribute was being captured, Cloudy and co were working on the boost camp, so they were prepared to give up the tribute. We saw how important it was having the booster camp there. High health still, not affected by the curse. Spell armor too. The push was not the greatest from SplyCySusLiHa. Now we see BLB, well, not BLB, sorry, Hapaka playing the Samurai this time. As boss will start up, they're going to need to be given up here, as everyone is moving towards it nonetheless. Cooldowns will be here soon. Hapaka gonna be taken upon by the team, but this is Samurai. He's not an easy target. As going in now, Cloudy could be in trouble. Here's the lightning bolt. That bomb used as well. Trying to go on the lightning breath. Oh, lightning fade actually. I just realized the team comp here from SplyCySusLiHa as they do get the kill on Greymane.
Yeah, SplyCySusLiHa really having a little bit of an advantage here. Pushing forward to Blacker, trying to find any way to escape, but no. Perhaps clicking R, thinking they had a way of swapping, but no, just blade storming around for a little bit of fun. As we have level 13 advantage and a boss being taken here by the red team, but after a full curse, it is the red team who are the ones down a fort.
Yes, it's a little bit contradictory to think about, but this was the boss from earlier not being responded to, but the good news is they now have their own boss after winning that team fight, and most assuredly the top fort will be going down. The best they can hold on to this one. I will point out, quite important here from Dobby, Wrath of the Anger has been taken for the kidnap. Link and SplyCySusLiHa both great targets for it now. How is being played on about boss stand, which was around. Dobby is here, Suspect going over the wall. Dobby going to be important here. Speed not connecting though. Here's the burst. They might go for the fight anyway, as how much can they do? Hapaka trying to get on top of them. Here's the lightning spells from SplyCySusLiHa. They're not able to find it. Dobby dragging away from the team. Isolation going to be quite sure what happened to be honest, as they're now trying to leave. Fort's already gone, so they don't have an easy disengage. Hard is going to continue the fight. Hapaka in the back road. Wrath of Anger not connecting there from Dobby. They really got killed in response as well.
Yeah,
Dobby. Quite an outcome, I think, for the red team.
Dobby trying so hard to do something there, but they did get interrupted with their first cast of their heroic by the light bomb. So I think light bomb secretly is a great heroic here, stopping the collapse, of course, around one individual target should the blue team pop that bloodlust. But right now a tongue has come out, and the displacement here onto Cloud Destroy, of course there's no ancestral, this is a bloodlust composition, but they are able, at least this time, to get Cloud Destroy out and about.
And he has, I think, his lucky stars, unfettered assault on the melee Greymane here, Cloud. Really, there's no reason that to happen in the first place, but able to Razor Swipe out in the end, as now Dobby maybe in trouble if he steps up here. Hard's going to go for the overpower, but no damage on top of the Imperius. Meantime, in the bottom lane, the Hapaka and the Rubon just kind of trading out at the moment. Samo absolutely wins in the silence though, so we'll see if and when it's going to be assistance towards the Dahaka, as boss up and Crowley wants to hit on it.
Yeah, this boss is going to be a potential keep if the blue team really want to, or it's at least going to be a large distraction that will help the blue team find something. But the red team... Oh, Genji is on there. They're going to try and defend this point against the two. But out comes the light bomb. That's going to hit hard, and it actually hits a lot of blue team out of the zone as they try to avoid the stun. But Genji's the one that goes down. Rhaegar afterwards, and now it's up to the red team to try and find something. Cassia is the main damage dealer. We are looking for them to try and pop off, but Cloud Destroy has been clawing through so many red team health bars. Link goes down in there, but Samuro finds a lightning ball. The blue team completely team wiped here by the Reds. Boss taken away, and what a phenomenal spin this has become here for the red team.
I thought the smoking mirrors would work, but not in the end. Tapaka and Freakz trying to stall them. We saw Dobby. I thought it was a genius play by him using the Wrath of Yangris on whoever tries to get on top of it, but Hard took the ultimate there, and then Suspect able to get onto the point. Once on top of it, the fire stomps, the Haka damage, the extract, the Cassia, it's all so good for them. And I was questioning whether they had enough. This time the strategy was to kill them when they jump on top of you. And at least in that fight, works out for SplyCySusLiHa. They are rewarded with the seal of the boss, preventing that bottom keep from being at risk. And they are now 11.5 lead and in a good position to close out game number 2.
It's really good, but it is definitely not over. Samuro, Greymane, both phenomenal heroes at ending the game. And really 1 or 2 team wipes here for the blue team against the Reds could easily put them in the lead and taking this game. So I would not count them out, especially when they have such good target priority as we saw in game number 1. It just takes a few opportunities for them to be able to do those single damage fights rather than those big clumped up team fights where everybody is just sat in the middle. Blacker, a little bit of danger here. They're able to get away.
He's fine. He's fine. Is our favorite Blade Master because there's no others to pick over him. Suspect in the middle is Genji, so I don't think it's going to be a problem. But Freakz actually catch him on the other end. Blessed Shield going, but the extra to get away. It's now hard. Maybe on trying to things under. There is, of course, the spell armor for them. As now Peldy could be in trouble here, but no, go again with the lightning bomb. As now Rubom is here. Freakz is going to be taken out.
Yeah.
In the meantime, just getting the tribute at least.
Yeah, but now it's up to the red team. What do they want to do? Bruiser Camp is in 47 seconds, so they're just going to go for this mid push. They've got 2 leftover Bruiser minions who are looking quite bruised. They're going to try and push and open this up. With no Johanna, the blue team don't really have a good way. And that's the thing, you know, they punish the lack of Blessed Shield. Blessed Shield is the main peel here. Of course, Imperius can do a great deal with what their tools have, but Blessed Shield is that one ability that the red team are truly scared of. And without a Johanna and without a Blessed Shield, the red team do take the first keep of the game.
After getting minor damage to response, but it's obviously not an even trade. Mid keep will be taken out. Still on 2 tributes, as now the path here quite clear for SplyCySusLiHa. Their bosses up can have that pushing top lane while getting the tribute with level 20 advantage. And all the tools are available. It will take quite the fight from Freakz team to turn the ship around, but we'll see if they can do it down level 20 towns. There's so many good ones here though for the red team. X-Strike resets, Infinite Lightning Bolt, Contagion onto Haka. These are really nice in the clumped up fights they've been having so far.
Yeah, so I mean, this Infinite Lightning Bolt potentially could go completely infinite. You know, could be just reset after reset if it's not too painful, but it's a second curse here on the blue team, and they have a boss marching down top lane. There's no mid keep. Red team have so much space to work with. I mean, it wouldn't matter if there was a keep, of course. There is a curse, but it's a good interrupt on the engage here from Hard, and Dobby and Freakz are trying desperately to peel away, but with Lightning Breath down, actually, the blue team have a fighting chance here. They still have Blessed Shield, but the boss has yet to connect with the structures, and that is the main thing right now. Structures are the way to win the game. If you get the core down, that is how you win. It doesn't matter about the kills, but out comes the lightning bomb. It's bouncing around, and it's a beautiful lick. Oh, but Dobby able to live for a little bit longer, and now they get the Wrath of Endurance up and away. Coffee.
Going down is hard, but pull down the last second. Haka going to be stunned there by the censure. Trying to get on top of him, but not able to. It's suddenly blinding lights, but Cassio is still able to be taken out. Whilst on the court, out of the ball going back for attempts. Carly's killing them. They might have overstepped here too confident they can end game. Going to be triple kill for Freakz' team, and we saw it was a bit of a whiff on the initial play there from SplyCySusLiHa. Hellgate in, interrupted incidentally. Light on Genji, Swift Strike interrupted incidentally. I don't think I can honestly say they planned on it, but Freakz' team prevented all of the engage tools of the level 20, and from there they were able to turn the ship around.
Yes, so now the red team, they have to try and stabilize essentially. You know, they're saying, look, what can we do to try and keep things alive? But with this boss coming up here, the red team basically have to say, is this boss, is this going to end the game? Or can we defend it? And so the red team are looking at their macro options. They're looking to try and rotate around, try and put pressure on the core, because there's only 75% left on it. The core shield, of course, is 50% worth shield, and it's going to stop scaling in just 40 seconds, but this boss is coming down the bot lane. Can they defend this, Coffee?
Well, I don't think they can try and look for a backdoor. Genji has some core damage, but it's not enough on his own. The Haka is not exactly brilliant. So we'll see what can happen here. It is the Haka playing without brushes as well, so not most useful for them. Freakz just ensuring that there's no shenanigans, but now going to group up with the team. No Johanova means it's difficult on the stuff. Now here's the Hellgate play onto Cloudy that's trying to look for it, but the buzzers coming out Cloudy. No trouble, remember, no such a hitting for them. Has taken out in the end, by suspect in the back line. Dobby gonna find the left end, is gonna pull him up. Out the blinding light is there, and that's the shield. It's so strong at level 20. Down at 2, Susium running the wrong way. As I think Freakz, once he joined his boys, has turned the fight around. Now Haka and friends are trying to end the game. It's just for 2 minutes remaining. This is level 20 Imperius. He hits like a shot with all these towers now. Diablo does not stand a chance. He has a lot of healing from the Firestorm, but he does not have a lot of killing. Boss on the court, no respawns are going to be in time. Freakz' team, they've done it again. It looks like they're out of the game. They're again not so good for them. But once the fights come in, once the scaling from the melees, they have managed to do it and win game number 2.
Yeah, phenomenal turnaround. We spoke about it, how just could be a couple of wins. And there it was. A couple of wins, and they have taken that game. So, Freakz 2-0 up in this best of 5 series. SplyCySusLiHa, though, they showed great promise there. It was superb work here, and I loved what they were doing, but you know, it's about stopping the bleeding and keeping it going.
Yeah, I think we saw it, and the other game, to be fair, was a bit better for Freakz' team this time. They did have a massive Zerg wave come and take down their keep wall. It was just the curse that they held onto very well. The attempt was there by the side of SplyCySusLiHa. Play down bottom, the mid lane rather, as a group, get the push there. They defended with 3. Dobby and Haka clearing out the side lanes. From there, we've managed to reach even game, a pretty mid game rather, than a pretty even game state. And even with a heroic steal of the boss, Freakz' team managed to get the late game. They caught SplyCySusLiHa fighting more than they can shoot. If they backed off after the Hellgate and the Light Bomb had failed, you can say that they're through because they didn't, but you only get so many chances, and it's so easy for someone to just get caught out. It sounds funny to happen even with Div1 players, but these things do happen. When you see the chance to end the game, you want to take it, but they were a little too scared, I think, of extending the game, and we saw the punish come out from Freakz' team.
Yes, yeah, indeed. So now it is up to basically... its first pick has been chosen here by SplyCySusLiHa. And, well, what do we have left over? We're just looking through the maps.
With Alterac, we have Dragon, we have Shrines, Sky Temple, Towers are available. From these ones, I think Sky Temple is a quite likely one for Freakz' team to go for. They have not played Alterac, I believe, actually. They prefer Volskaya because on that one they have the option of playing the Range Style. We saw that against Ultralisk and Co. get the win. But to be fair, against the Cho'Gall, not sure how much fun they were having versus winning their opponents. But we need to see now, there's no time for messing around. Now, you have to beat Freakz' playstyle, and we haven't seen it just yet after 2 games. But they have more information, and once they figure it out, maybe they can pull off the reverse sweep.
Yep, so let's have a little look here. I'm sure we'll just get an invite to a lobby. That's going to be the thing, right? We're just going to get a random invite to a lobby. We're not going to know what map pick they are until it happens. So yeah, what are we seeing right now? As we, gosh, I'm trying to do other things at the same time. It's not really working.
We do have a lobby, and I was wondering actually, we're going to be going to Towers of Doom for our next game. We're going to get someone in here.
Oh, thank you very much. We're getting in there. We're trying to do something. As I have the wrong screen up. Press that.
Okay to be plat, there's no shame in it. As we are now getting into the 3rd game, and my question is, have SplyCySusLiHa got a solution? And
Yeah.
I think they were closer, Definitely trying to heal through all the damage that the melee heroes do. It doesn't work very well, unfortunately. They had a lot of AoE damage this time in game number 2. Cassia, Diablo, Genji. Looked quite awful, but remember, they did win the crazy fight over the boss, even though they're playing against all the melees. So it was a bit better, but not quite enough. Now, Towers of Doom is a map where you do have to consider the sidelines just as much as the primary lane. It's not a map like on Curse Hollow where you can often stall out while nothing is happening, because it's so easy to target and put pressure on whoever is clearing out the sidelines.
Yeah, so I mean, what else could we even see here from SplyCySusLiHa? I like the Cassia. They did go for the level 7 blind talent rather than anything, you know, going for that sort of AoE damage talent that, you know, so often you see on Cassia.
We saw a bit more than that as well. We also saw level 16. It was the Power Strike, just going for so many blinding lights to reduce the power of the Great Main and the Samurai. But for Parker, he just swaps clones, and all of a sudden he's not blind anymore. Someone should teach Ilden that technique.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite enough for them in the later fights, unfortunately.
So yes, right. As we have these 2 teams coming into the lobby now, we wait and see. So, Towers of Doom, potential match point here. Freakz could be going through to the next final stage. Of course, that will be looking at the lobby. If I just show the format right now on screen, you'll see that we have Freakz. They'll go up against Bobby Kotick Fan Club in the next potential game. Freakz, of course, they were the favourites in this. They were slightly ahead of SplyCySusLiHa. So if SplyCySusLiHa, if they can get a win here, they should be holding their head up high. But we have got to see what's going to happen potentially.
The mental stress of being down 2-0 in a do-or-die match is not to be underestimated, though. And especially when you've been in these games where you were ahead for... You had the advantage. It wasn't like you were done destined for... The ability to win was in your hands, but then mistakes happen. We're now here having to make the reverse sweep. In order to try and regroup everyone, get back on your... Get the mentality back and fight with everything you've got to stay in the Division 1 Cup, because it's long roads from here. Like I said, this is just game 1 of 4 we have here. These teams, if they want to claim the prize, they have 3 more teams to go for after this, so... It's quite the gauntlet for them as we are now in the ban pick.
Yes, so is that Rhaegar going to get banned out, or is it still going to be Sylvanas? Is it still going to be some of the other heroes that we've seen SplyCySusLiHa go for? They've got first pick, so they've easily still got that Dahaka pick should they want it. There's going to be Sylvanas first ban, and then Lucio, nothing much has changed.
What I would like to see changes last time we went for the Polstead ban here, I think Rhaegar has shown to be a problem, and you want the Dahaka for yourself, so we'll see what they want to do, because Polstead can be quite nice on this map for playing in the mid lane, reduce the pressure on your off laner. Of course, you can also play things like Tracer, Genji, Zeratul to harass the Polstead, so maybe you're willing to do that on the map that so often goes to level 20 and let them play with the Birdie. But giving the enemy team Gus in Division 1 can be a bit much, as they have had enough of the monkey business. Samurai will be taken out instead.
So, Samura, yes. That means Dahaka could be an easy global option here for SplyCySusLiHa. Of course, Falstad's still up and available, as is Brightwing. But that Rhaegar has been a thorn in the side for potentially turning on those games with that Bloodlust. Are we going to see it potentially come out here?
I really hope they steal it away and have some play into it for the Haka, but no. Sticking with the Haka can be so annoying, and on this map can be very nice for if offense on the top lane, just lower down and invade the sappers. Can't really do much to stop it if you're burrowing it out of vision. So now are we just going to see the same thing once again? We understand Freakz, they play heavy melee, but they also play hyper carry double support. For now though, Rhaegar will remain. Hogger is the offlaner of choice.
Yeah, so obviously with no Samuro, they're having to sort of forego their other picks earlier and go, right, we got to get Hogger early on. Make sure it's not banned out later. Of course, we probably wouldn't be expecting SplyCySusLiHa to pick it, but Hogger can do fine in a 4-man, and we saw it have success against the heavy melee compositions, but we are now getting Greymane picked against them, and Anduin once again picked here for SplyCySusLiHa.
I think that the Greymane is the problem this time, instead of Rhaegar or Bornov. We're also getting Zemo as well, of course, and Link will be staying on Anduin. Now we'll see what Freakz' team want to do. Can look to ban away tanks. Junkrat gone be removed instead. We'll see what replacement they have in mind now that Greymane is removed.
Yeah, so let's have a little look here. Junkrat obviously banned, as we've just said. Tanks still up and available for both teams, but Muradin now zoned out. They found that perhaps Muradin was a key in getting a good advantage for Freakz. So instead, it's now gone, and Johanna will be picked up in its place. But with what DPS, now that Greymane was picked away from them? I think you're muted there, Coffee, as we have Medivh and Diablo coming in instead. That's going to help protect them a great deal. Diablo being a much more aggressive hero than the Johanna, so it's going to be a completely different type of game here from Freakz.
Yeah, it's not often that this team doesn't get Sylvanas or Greymane. They usually pick one from that. Instead, securing Holger, make sure they don't get choked out in the offlane pool. Now we're in Medivh, so I think there's a few ways this could go. It could be Maiev, it could be Valor, it could be, I don't think it'll be Imperius, but it's possible. It could even be Malthael, as now Cloudy is going to go for Valor, has the protection from Dobby's Medivh. So Zarya Gauch is a very simple comp to play. In the meantime, the Medivh, Valor, a bit more shenanigans. So once I think the easy to execute draft is perhaps on the side of SplyCySusLiHa, but we'll see just how good Dobby is as the Raven.
Yes, of course. I mean, we saw that Junkrat banned out, and if you're at home and playing in Division 2 or 3, and you see a Junkrat banned out in the mid bans, it can quite often mean a Medivh coming up soon. Junkrat has phenomenal control around those portals. So, well, with that banned out, they went for the Garrosh and Zarya. Let's see how they do now in game number 3. And we have here for the side of the blue team, it is Freakz with Hoplika on that Hogger, Freakz on Diablo, Dobby on Medivh, Cloud Destroy on Valor, Out of Order on Rhaegar. They are Freakz.
Down but not out on the red team. SplyCySusLiHa, Hard playing the Hacker, Link playing Andron, Suspect playing the Zarya, Rubom is playing Garrosh, and System is playing Greymane. So I've had a little bit of a swap here. Hard moving to the off lane. Maybe this is the solution for them. It's going to be the second Valor though, so not concerned at all about the Zarya Garrosh. Just happy to play the spacing. Now, Diablo, not really the sort of hero you often see from this team. They like Murden, they like Jahan, they like these heroes that can exist and have presence on their own. Diablo not really able to do the same thing.
No,
But
so
can be nice against the throw-in by Garrosh and Zarya.
yeah, Suspect going for Feel the Heat here as well. So really is looking to just try and put pressure on a frontline target and also get a little bit of siege damage when possible. That's going to be helping pick up there, of course. You know, it's the additional 50% damage in melee range. So helping out a decent chunk. So Rubber, I'm going for the throw, just putting a little bit of fear into Freakz' eyes. But overall, both teams now rotating, and well, red team actually going for the siege camp. They have the Hacker available to come down should they want, but Rubberom is nowhere to be seen, and it didn't really matter. They got the kill very quickly against the Valor, and once again against Rhaegar as well. Medivh not even thinking about dropping down to drop a protected. They did not want to get manhandled by Garrosh, and instead has let 2 members die. A great early on play here for the red team.
It's good. It's a good start by SplyCySusLiHa, playing a lot faster in this game number 3, going for the early advance. Now Hopaka, in the meantime, took the Sapper camp and it's gotten the gate down. Has been doing very well so far, by the way, in the 1v1. Putting a lot of damage on the Hacker, but I'm a little surprised they went for it. They know that the early game can be difficult for them. Freakz himself is kind of sitting there watching his team die, not really able to do much to prevent it. Would have thought maybe they're going to back off a little earlier. It's now Suspect are being dragged towards the top side of the map. Rubom is here, got to throw away Freakz. No CC onto him means that Suspect should be just fine. In the meantime, Sapper's uncontested. Not seeing it clear out anytime soon by Freakz' boys.
No, especially with their composition. Rhaegar's really the one that has to get down there with Valor. And although they've got a portal, it seems like a bit of Indomitable helped out Rubrom for zoning out. And those sappers do take care of a lot of the structure damage, but it's a good flip onto Rubrom. They have no Indomitable, and now it is the portal. This is the chase that you want to go for. That is why the Ravens picked a little bit of slow, a little bit of additional damage, a little bit of control as you try and get those last little bits of damage. But a good pull here from Link and a shield from Suspect, and Silesium stays alive. They all tap well, and they're going now for the contesting of this bottom shrine.
Valdi gonna be thrown in there. Protect and Portal are gonna get him out. It's not a disaster to be thrown in just yet, but level 10, I'm looking for the Zarya to control the portal with Expulsion Zone. At that point, it gets a lot more difficult, but Hard's not interested in waiting. Gonna go in right now and look for the play. Is the Hacker. Portal out of the to get Dobby out of order. Protection on the throw. They don't have enough to stop them leaving through the portals. Now, Hopaka is also very good. It's gonna be a 5v5. For the point, running out of cooldowns though perhaps as Spice and Floyd, so Sim needing to run the route is coming through. Now here's the portal in, Ravens anti-10 for extra damage, Freakz under the towers but will survive. System thrown out to safety, and Link really wants to get the stall here, piercing Chastise, going to manage it. That Andrew, it's like in the cutscene, he actually has some balls for once, as now the fight does not end. Out of order, low on mana, though. I think Freakz' team, though, they might have needed to get the cap there. Nanow's team, they have the taps available, actually.
Wow.
Spice's team already has. This fight's still going, ladies and gentlemen. As Hard is the next target. They're not done yet. Hogger spinning. The Hacker invisible, gonna be okay for now. Rubron looking for a throw, but doesn't want to go for it. The team is in trouble instead. Garage needing to get pulled out. Now Hacker throw away from the portal, but barely able to make it through in time. The fight does not stop. Level 7 here for SplyCySusLiHa. Getting the interrupt once again on the channel. Hogger very low, spinning for her side. But so low is the pipe, but spins on beautifully. That's very well calculated. Now it's not done yet. Freakz, the body block's so good he can't get out. And finally, SplyCySusLiHa take the advantage in the fight.
Insane fight there, Coffee. So at least him actually able to Hearthstone completely and then come back for that. I mean, I'm pretty sure they could have got a kill on Hogger had they seen them driving past, but it was such a quick spin that Blacker was able to get away. But still, you know, that long waiting game eventually is going to push us later and later into the stages of this game. And the blue team have a much better late game than the Reds. You know, we are going to be seeing Zarya start to fall off. But of course we are waiting for that level 10 expulsion zone. But still, even now, Cloud Destroyer was able to get one kill, and Greymane is the second one. No portals out for this team, and instead it's going to be a hot potato as Link gets thrown, and well, Link pulls Rubron.
And I think once again biting off more than they can chew with SplyCySusLiHa. They wanted to get damage on the fort. They chunked Cloud Destroyer so nicely with the Zarya grenades and trying to get a kill there in the end, but Dobby was there to protect out of order. It's not the best single target healing, but there is still some. We might see the ancestral healing this time just to try and keep the kill target alive. Kapaka once again taking the top status here. Suspect has moved up to help, but Sally's not the best in a 2v2 sort of situation. Still though, Hogger, 1 is not bigger than 2, so he's going to spin on out of there.
Yep, so level 10 round the corner here for the blue team. They're looking to try and find a little bit of an advantage as there's 20 seconds until that objective spawns. And with that, they have got the ley line, the lightning breath, the ancestral this time rather than the bloodlust, shockwave, and rain of vengeance. And they're going to look to instantly take this middle one, but it seems like everyone's forgotten about that bottom altar.
Yeah, I think everyone just wanted to stop the other team from getting a middle. Now, Freakz moving down that spot on vision, as I think everyone just pretending that one never happened. Now, the Huckle that's in the top lane, they're going to need to try and force the bow out here. Freakz going to get the interrupt. Rubron moving around, as now spells are here. The ley line very important for Freakz' team as it's the expulsion zone. Here's Dobby going to get the stall, but will it cost him a side? The answer is no. Suspect barely stopped there by the fire stop of Hucker and hard fighting as well. In goes Diablo, portaled in for the lightning breath. Expulsion zone, not really doing a whole lot to be honest, as Hucker needing to get out of their shockwave. Onto 4 actually, quite nicely done. Big stir thrown into the team. Will he be able to survive? The answer is apparently yes for the time being. Taunt really not doing a whole lot. Cloudy taking damage, so Hucker sister hitting on the use, keep that roll alive. The sustain appears to be better from SplyCySusLiHa though.
Yeah, and it was an insane rotation here from both teams. As we saw, you know, that patience of not channeling just yet because they wanted to be in position for that fight. And in position, both teams were, both getting opportunities, but both playing defensively so well. Still, we have yet to have the go for the throat used. Silesium looking for that last hit, that last kill, and out of order actually almost gets the turn, but it's interrupted by a last minute. And still, go for the throat, takes out Valor. Silesium thrown out, thrown away, trying to find the poke now instead. But Dobby doing so much with those rifts. And now we see the damage comes out. Oh, they are able to get away. The throw that went to Rhaegar. Blue team slowly losing this team fight as red team find themselves the mid cap and also potentially another kill against Freakz. But out comes Leyline. And Freakz is not able to escape.
And Harder really wants to get the kill here on Dobby, but not able to do so. The Arcane quest is complete, so no stacks can be lost on Dobby. And I think Cloud kind of just got caught Chol in there, just chilling out in the mid lane. Dies off on his own, and without the Valor, the damage is not there from Freakz' team. Now here's the expulsion zone on the portal, looking for the CC though. Parker setting up so well for his team. Diablo taken down, but Hard now looking to kill off Medivh. Rubron will go as well. I feel like I've seen this one many times. SplyCySusLiHa, they get a lead, they try and push it, and then the respawns come in and Freakz just kill them all.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we've seen Freakz do. You know, they have that way of spinning around and getting involved. And obviously they've got Hogger now, and spin around they do. And it looks like they're going to put a lot of damage onto Hard. Hard able to knock them away, get themselves nicely cloaked. And although the blue team are trying to rotate onto them, Hard is out and healed up by Link. So, level 13 to 13, 6 kills to 7. But the red team control this bottom bell tower. And so the blues, they're going to have to find their time to try and push it in and recapture it. Meanwhile, Cloud Destroy did take the top camp. So priorities going there first before finding the time and patience to push in this bot lane.
This bottom bell tower is going to be a big problem for Freakz. We've seen the fights where both teams are able to survive and have time to heal up without the healing fountain though. It'll be difficult for them to sustain in the really long engagements, as they have no sign of getting it anytime soon. It's just going to have to be all to giving up. I think core health going the way of SplyCySusLiHa for the time being. Of course, doesn't matter until you run out, but for now they're getting quite the lead on that one. Just defending at the moment, not even sending anyone back to cap just yet. Now Link's going to go and do so, but this gives Cloudy and friends maybe a window to get some damage here.
Yeah, we're seeing if Dobby's going to interrupt, and they do indeed. They're fully aware they've got the mobility to be able to go around this team, but I think they missed their Arcane Rift, and as such, Link is going to get this channel. Meanwhile, without a healer, they're looking to try and get something, and a nice stun on Silesium. The throw comes out, but out comes that Leyline Seal still. Oh, the taunt not quite connecting as Link was pulling them with a leap to faith out of danger. It's going to be another tool not yet available here for the red team. And although they have the Garrosh with the speedy shield, you can't quite find those necessary kills. Right now, they don't need anything, if I'm honest. They can just defend this bot lane, as soon as the blue team rotates, they feel a little bit more free to do something they want to do.
Yeah, taunt being down is not the end of the world. They're not going to be a fight anytime soon. Now, I'll point out how Parker is doing so well in the 1v1. We saw the isolation getting used there by Hard just to survive. I'll point out it's brute force level 4 from Hogger, not someone you often see, just with extra damage to get better at the 1v1. Now Hard really wanted to stop the boss play from Freakz. Actually gets out though, not quite sure how he managed it, but will survive. 4 points for Freakz at least, as they're about to hit level 16.
Yeah, so although they've got an XP lead, they've just taken 4 shots. They are significantly behind, 13 shots behind here from the red team. But we called it earlier, Zarya is a very much an early game hero. And these late game team fights with Medivh and also Diablo might be a little bit of trouble. But the Leyline Seal is going to help out of order for now. There was not even a portal used here by Dobby. It was just Leyline and Protect. And Rhaegar was absolutely fine. Ancestral Healing back up as well. And Dahaka goes down in the top lane and a solo kill. Well done here by Hoplaka.
Yeah, gonna use a shockwave to secure that one. Everyone surviving on the bomb zone in the meantime, and now the move is coming up. I've seen some often teams, they try and steal away the other side's altar and it ends in disaster. My question is, what is Freakz team going to do here? They've got the man advantage. Poke is air from Zarya, so it might be difficult. They're looking for the play on Rubron, though. The pull will be used by Link. Silesium is going to be the next target. Alderon on top of the Grey Main. Leyline used on Zarya. That's another kill for them. Maybe Zarya in trouble as well as Rubron. Big throw there on Freakz, but has to touch it out. Not going to get expulsion zoned to his doom. No zoning is there to take the top shrine by Freakz.
So Coffee, they got both shrines, but ultimately that was only 6 points on the enemy's core. Red team have held fast with this bot lane bell tower, and you know, 3 points per shot really feels so measly, especially when your opponents could be getting 5. This is a gorgeous taunt here right now, as well as a nice light bomb. Out comes Ancestral Healing. It's going to keep Freakz alive for a little bit longer, but ultimately they do perish. That level 16 mortal combo talent coming in very, very handy here from Rubron.
And it might end disaster for Team Freakz, but Dobby has another leyline. Medivh's pretty good like that level 16. Freakz just spawning. Kind of used like a shoe toy by the Garrosh and friends there, throwing around, doing whatever they want to the middle of the terrain. Probably not too pleased with that one. Has got the respawn though, and everyone else survives. That's not the end of the world. You see, I agree that the 3 shots per Alter Steel are not the greatest, but more importantly, it's 5 shots not against them. I think Freakz is saying they're quite happy just stalling up against level 20 and then turning around the core health from that point. They've now got to play pressure in the top lane as well, though. Hapaka not going to be enough, I think, as the Haka to interrupt on his own. A little bit of an interesting spin here from Hapaka. Look at the damage just done by the autos of the Hogger, as in the meantime, still haven't gotten control of the bottom side of Freakz. So much damage on hard as the 3 sappers do go in. Nicely done there by Hapaka.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately they have to tank the wave and also the Hogger, and well, the Hogger is just so much. We talked about brute force earlier, and that really does increase the damage done by some of the Hogger's abilities. So, red team now looking to try and pick it up. It is 4-4 now, so anything gained here is a good gain here by the blue team. No more measly 3 shots, but we weren't able to steal away with Hogger earlier, and out comes the Leyline Seal, the really nice taunt and also expulsion zone, really disabling that blue team. But out comes Ancestral, keeps Dobby alive, but the root is there. So much damage going into Dobby, but it's going to be Zarya who goes down. So Elysium was just not on the correct target here, zoned out so well by Diablo, and they are definitely going to take this bottom altar, and it's up to the top altar now, and whether they can even defend it with 2 heroes down.
Dobby's here to assist Hapaka, goes for a bit of a spin. We saw actually Dobby there trapped inside the little alcove there on the top side, but without the damage from Sicilium, not able to kill off the Medivh, especially he think it came in time. Now 2 levels up, 2 people up. They're gonna look to get the steal away once again, but Cloudy's getting the bottom altar instead. Without the Val, they don't have the best play here, but they're still up numbers in heroic towns. Now here's the challenge from Freakz onto the Anduin, protects it to survive the death zone, as Rubom going to be killed off as well. There's the Earthcraft, there's the Gauch kill, staggered deaths by SplyCySusLiHa, 5 towers in favour of Freakz.
And they take the lead.
Will they get?
For the first time in the game, Coffee, they have now taken the lead away from the red team. Down to 10 points. And that's going to be a little bit tough now, you know. You're starting to get to that point where you're worried about boss. You know, boss is suddenly putting you into a much more dangerous zone, especially if these 6 sappers go in here. 5 sappers go in at the bottom lane here. Thankfully, sappers and boss is now not GG, but they have control of all of these bell towers. And that's got to hurt if you're red team. Level 20 is not yet here. They're soaking desperately. Does the level 20 for the red team give them any sort of comeback potential, Coffee?
Well, the only thing I'm seeing really is how if we can get the contagion onto multiple people, but otherwise the level 20 talents aren't that great for them. As now starting up the boss here, it will survive, as you mentioned, but here comes the contest, and it's level 20 Medivh. I'm not sure if this is the one to fight for, guys. If they're going for it, Medivh Chinks getting all of them. Diablo just doesn't care about expulsion zone. Blue Bomb taken out. Hogger spin, gets Link. Sicilium down, Suspect down, and they might have done here. Freakz, 4 down, altar about to spawn. They're going to win in a 3-0 manner.
Yes, a phenomenal call here for the blue team to know that they could pressure boss. It wasn't GG of all things, but they knew that the Leyline Seal, there was no way they could lose that team fight. Superbly done here. They are going to take a full capture as well, it seems. So Blacker puts the effort on the top. They're going to probably portal over this, I imagine, or they're just going for the danger route. They're not caring about the channel. They're just going for the full 7 cap. And as one shot leaves the core here for the blue team, we find it. Hit the core. GG, well played. The 3-0 series goes over to Freakz. GG, well played. And they'll be going forward to the next round.
And it's really done once again by them. And once again, the play from SplyCySusLiHa is so unfortunate for them. Leading early on, not able to push the leads. Punished for looking for a little bit too much even. Getting away back in are the Freakz, and then once level 20 comes, they cannot be stopped. Showing as well they don't have to play with the melees, they can also play with the Medivh. It's good info for their next opponents to see, but we need to have they need to see them lose first of all. They won 3 games in the same manner, not cleanly, but
No.
the wins what matter in the end.
By all means, it wasn't clean. But yeah, you know, ultimately, they take the 3-0, and that is all that matters, Coffee. So they're going to be up against Bobby Kotick's fan club. How do you feel about the Freakz matchup into that team? Is there the special sauce? Is that going to work out well there?
Well, we will see Ixia quite famous for playing some funky picks of his own. So if he is indeed playing for the Bobby Kotick fan club, I'm looking forward to what answer we have, because we have seen this player style here from Freakz' team. If you enjoy it, feel free to try it yourself. It's actually quite fun to play once you're getting the hang of it, though. It's quite difficult. You have to be on top of your macro. If you slip up at all, the enemy team just gets to fight you on good terms for themselves. And as the gauntlet goes on here, we will see if other teams are able to stand up to them.
Well, yes, yeah. So we'll have to wait and see when they organize their match. But we have lots of exciting things here on the Heroes Lounge channel coming soon. This week, in fact. Tomorrow, April Fool's Day. I know, it's all good fun. We have our staff show match tomorrow. So it'll be moderators versus stream team as we show off the off-season spin the wheel format in a best of 5 tomorrow with moderators against our stream team. Tune in for that tomorrow at 19 CEST. Of course, with summertime. Wednesday, we have our ARAM fun tournament. You can sign up for that. That'll also be cast here on Heroes Lounge with Samu. And of course, next Monday, not tomorrow, but the Monday afterwards, we have our Nexus Rumble Upper Grand Final, where we'll see some of the best and brightest of what is essentially the top of Division 2 go up against each other in the Nexus Rumble Grand Final. And if we can find it, we will find the match of Freakz versus Bobby Kotick's fan club. And maybe we'll see a return of Coffee then, back 7 hours away from where they are now. We'll have to wait and see. But thank you very much for joining me tonight, Coffee. It's been phenomenal to have your expertise and insider knowledge on these teams tonight.
No, it's been good fun, and I enjoy seeing the Div1 boys show what they have, show their own personality and play styles as well. Today we saw from Freakz' team something a little unorthodox, but it can work. It's not just the memes or the weird stuff that works in lower divisions. If you execute well enough, it even works up here in the Master and Grandmaster games.
Yes, well, hopefully we've given you a bit of understanding of what goes through everybody's brains here in Division 1. But that is all we have for you tonight. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us tonight. And we shall see you tomorrow. Good night, everybody.
Okay.